The Dancing Girl by Mori Ōgai. The coal has already been loaded. Around the second-class cabin's table, all is quiet, and the bright incandescent lamp shines needlessly. Tonight, even my usual card-playing companions have taken lodging at the hotel, leaving me alone on the ship. 5 years ago, when my long-held wish was granted and I received official orders to study abroad. Arriving at this port of Saigon, everything I saw and heard was novel. I wrote countless words of travelogue daily, which were published in newspapers and praised by readers. Looking back now, how must discerning readers have viewed my childish thoughts, my presumptuous remarks, and even my amazed descriptions of ordinary flora, fauna, minerals, and customs? This time, when I set out, the notebook I bought to keep a diary remains blank, perhaps because during my studies in Germany, I developed a kind of nil admirari attitude. No, there is another reason. Indeed, the me returning east is not the same me who sailed west, though I still find much wanting in my studies. I have learned about life's hardships. It goes without saying that others' hearts are unreliable. I have even learned how fickle my own heart can be. Who would I show these momentary impressions? Where yesterday's truth becomes today's falsehood. This is why no diary was written. No, there is another reason. It has been over 20 days since leaving the port of Brindisi. Normally during a voyage, one would make acquaintances even with strangers to ease the journey's tedium. But using slight illness as an excuse, I have kept to my cabin, speaking little even to my fellow travelers, tormented by a secret regret. This regret first brushed my mind like a wisp of cloud, preventing me from seeing the Swiss mountains or taking interest in Italy's ruins. Mid-journey, it made me weary of the world and my own existence, inflicting daily torture as if my guts were being twisted 9 times. Now it has congealed deep in my heart as a single shadow. Yet with every book I read, every sight I see, like a mirror's reflection or an echo's response, it awakens endless nostalgia, tormenting my heart countless times. How can I dispel this regret? If it were any other regret, composing poems and songs might bring relief. But this one is carved too deeply into my heart for that to work. Though tonight, with no one around and still some time before the cabin boy comes to turn the electric key, let me try to write down its outline. Thanks to the strict home training I received from childhood, even after losing my father early, my studies never declined. Whether at the former Domains Academy, the preparatory school in Tokyo, or after entering the law department of the university, the name Toda Toyotaro always appeared at the top of the class, which seemed to comfort my mother, who supported herself and her only child. At 19, I received the title of bachelor, an unprecedented honor since the university's founding. As people said, I entered service at a certain ministry, called my mother from our hometown to Tokyo, and spent 3 pleasant years. Because my superior particularly favored me, I received orders to study abroad and investigate departmental matters. My heart swelled with the thought that now was the time to make my name and establish my house. I didn't even feel much sadness at parting from my mother, who was over 50, and traveled far from home to Berlin. I arrived in the center of this new European capital with ambitions clouded by uncertainty and the diligence born of strict discipline. What brilliance tried to dazzle my eyes? What colors attempted to bewitch my heart? Though Under the Linden Trees suggests a quiet setting when translated. Look at the throngs of men and women walking on the stone sidewalks along this great boulevard. Unter den Linden. When Kaiser Wilhelm I still appeared at his palace window, there were officers with puffed chests and raised shoulders. Beautiful young women in Paris-inspired dress, all catching the eye. Carriages rolled silently on the tarred road. Fountains roared like summer rain against clear skies where palace towers briefly parted. And beyond the Brandenburg Gate, through interwoven green branches, rose the Victory Column with its goddess floating in the sky. With so many sights crowding before one's eyes, it's natural that a newcomer would have no time to process it all. Yet in my breast was a vow not to be moved by frivolous beauty no matter what surroundings I found myself in, and I always held back external things that tried to overwhelm me. Translation continues through the text. As I bid farewell to Elise's mother and boarded the homeward ship, I left her enough capital for a modest living, arranged through discussions with Saizawa, and entrusted her with matters concerning the child that would be born to that pitiful madwoman. Ah, a friend like Saizawa Kenkichi is rare in this world. Yet to this day, a point of hatred for him remains in my mind. January 1890.